Good evening, and welcome. My name is John Harrison, and I'm the principal of Rockland High School. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you to the Academic Hall of Fame and Underclassmen Academic Awards Banquet this evening. Last week, we as a school community honored the class of 2019 as they had their senior banquet and graduation. And tonight is an opportunity to celebrate the achievements of the underclassmen and recognize three amazing adults who graduated from Rockland High School. Academic success is our primary focus, and this night is wonderful since it gives us an opportunity to recognize those students who thrive in the classrooms and as leaders in our school and our community. We have a lot to be proud of here in Rockland, as our students' growth and achievement is exceptional. We have students thriving in the classroom, taking our most rigorous course offerings, including our advanced placement college-level courses. Many of our students participated in our extracurricular life, attending Envirothon or participating in the math team, model congress, or mock trials, to name a few. Our students excelled in the arts, contributing to what I consider a phenomenal arts festival a month ago. We were humbled by the Broadway night, the holiday concert, and Annie this year. In athletics, our teams continue to compete, did an outstanding job competing, making us proud, demonstrating outstanding sportsmanship, whether it was on the field, on the court, in the pool, or on the ice. I was never a swimmer. Tonight, we will take the time, actually, I was never really an athlete. Tonight, we'll take the time to honor the underclassmen who have excelled at Rockland High School, but we'll also induct 3 Rockland High School alums into the Hall of Fame. The event could not be possible with the help of the following people. I'd ask you to hold your applause because there's a bunch of people. We have Miss Janet Can, Miss Carla Dunn, Miss Mary Ellen Woodward, Miss Kathy Ryan, Miss Jane Ellis, Mr. Dave Cable Murphy, Mr. Chris Bernacca, Miss Mal-Ann Cotton, and Miss Brenda Folsom. They've been instrumental in the planning of tonight, so we can just give them a round of applause. We also have some special people here tonight that I'd just like to introduce. Again, if you could just hold your applause, because there's a bunch. We have Miss Jill Maroney from the school committee, the chair of the school committee. We have Mr. Richard Phelps, the vice chair of the school committee. We have Dr. Cron, superintendent. Miss Colleen Ferlizzi, the assistant superintendent. Mr. A. Scott McKinley, retired principal of Rockland High School. And Mr. Joe Weisgerber, retired director of guidance, and he's also the founder of the Academic Hall of Fame. So if we can just give them a round of applause. I also want to thank our faculty and our department heads. Many of them are here tonight. I know it's been a long stretch for them with the senior banquet and graduation last week, so just a thank you to the faculty who are here tonight to be with us. And at this point, I'd like to welcome our superintendent, Dr. Cron, for a few welcoming remarks.
Good evening and congratulations, award recipients. And congratulations to your parents, who I'm sure played no small part in why you are here this evening. And I would be remiss if I didn't recognize Dr. Harrison, your teachers, and your school administrators, whose tireless efforts on your behalf also play a major role in your success. It is my honor to briefly address you on this auspicious occasion. You are our best and brightest, our leaders in the classroom. You set the tone for the school, and because of this, we hold you in the highest regard. And tonight, we recognize your efforts, past and present. The billion-dollar question teachers ask themselves each day is, why do some students work hard and excel, and how do I motivate all of my students to do the same? So I ask you, why are you here tonight when so many of your classmates are not? Maybe it's talent, a subject or activity just seems to come easy to you, or maybe it's a combination of talent, work ethic, and will. You've decided you're going to do well, and you're willing it to happen. More important question, though, is what motivates you personally? What drives you? Because knowing the answer to this question is critically important. At the end of the day, you are the only teacher you will have for the rest of your life. Your voice is the most important, and knowing yourself, how you learn, why you learn, and what motivates you will help you in the future. Of this I am certain. Congratulations on your achievements. Thank you for leading us, for challenging us, and for motivating us. We are incredibly proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Cron. At this time, we're going to start. We're going to start with the Academic Hall of Fame portion of the evening. Ms. Kathy Paulding, our assistant principal, will begin with the first induction.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us. It is my pleasure to tell you a little bit, I need my glasses, about Elizabeth Betty Beecher. Elizabeth Betty Beecher is a class of 1942 Rockland High School graduate. She was an honor roll student and was in the French club, the Glee club, and the choral group while at Rockland High School. Her yearbook status states her ambition was to be a nurse. After she graduated, she trained at Massachusetts Memorial Hospital School of Nursing in Boston. As the U.S. engaged in World War II, Betty became one of the nation's U.S. cadet nurses who rescued the nation's civilian and military hospitals during the war. President Franklin Roosevelt had created the U.S. Cadet Nurse Corps in July 1943 to quickly train new nurses after most of the nation's registered nurses were sent overseas following the attack on Pearl Harbor. 180,000 women enlisted. Beecher described them as the youngest and largest group of uniformed women to serve during a wartime. Betty served from 1943 to 1945 at Public Health Service Marine Hospital on Staten Island and in Boston, caring for wounded Coast Guard and Merchant Marine servicemen with head injuries and loss of limbs. The cadets provided 85% of the country's hospital care, and because of the Corps, post-war America had some 124,000 registered nurses, many of whom had worked as nurses for 30 to 40 years after graduation. Now retired from nursing, Betty remains very active in her community at Faring Way with her family and friends and in the larger community. She is currently working with a bipartisan group of lawmakers who have reintroduced Senate Bill 997, the U.S. Cadet Nurse Corps Service Recognition Act, a bill aimed at honoring these women who served our country with honorary veteran status. The bill would recognize the former cadet nurses' service to their country and provide them with honorable discharges, ribbon and medal privileges, as well as certain burial rights privileges. U.S. Senator Elizabeth Warren, Susan Collins, Angus King, and Steve Daines have joined together in their effort to honor these former nurses, many of whom are now in their 90s. That includes Elizabeth Betty Beecher. We are honored to be in the presence of such an amazing woman. Elizabeth Damon Beecher, for all your accomplishments, past, present, and future, we are proud and honored to induct you into the Rockland High School Academic Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, You're welcome. Congratulations. Here's your plaque. All right, you're ready. Okay. So we're gonna lower that down a little bit.
I don't know. I can't, with all the lights, I have difficulty seeing. Okay.
Does this light work?
That was quite an introduction. I have to stop. I think I'm going to have to talk off the cuff. My introduction took most of my speech. Well, and I came here to talk about my experience in the Rockland High School almost 100 years ago. Well, actually, it's only 90 years ago. And I'm sure you'll be interested to know that in those days, we didn't have such beautiful schools as you have today. I started in a neighborhood school, which was very common in Rockland. They were scattered throughout the town so that we could go and walk to our school. The Webster Street School, obviously on Webster Street. I lived on Hingham Street at the time, so it was just a short walk to school. We had 2 sessions, went home for lunch back in the afternoon. The schoolhouse had just 2 stories. Grades 1, 2, and 3 were on the first floor. Grades 4, 5, and 6 upstairs. And 1 teacher would simultaneously teach all 3 grades. We didn't have preschool, we didn't have play dates, we didn't have kindergarten back then. So the teacher had to really start from scratch. And I remember her name was Miss Murdoch, and she just made school so much fun. And the learning under her tutelage was just fun going to school. She made, for example, she would choose a word, and I'm going to use choices, for example, and she would make a game of it. We'd say, there are good choices, bad choices, and we really had to be responsible for whatever choice we made. So, but if we had free time at the end of the school session, she would just make a game and say, what if you made this choice, or whatever choice? Now, this will be hard to believe as well, but in 1930, Rockland boasted that all schools would have electric lights by September 1st. Unfortunately, not all schools had indoor plumbing. We would start, I know that seems incredible, but it's the truth. Each day, every day that I was in school, we'd start with the same routine. I'm not sure you do it today, but we'd start by sitting quietly with our hands folded on the desk, and the teacher would read from the Bible, followed by the Lord's Prayer. Then we'd stand and salute the flag and sing America. And I remember the teacher saying, if you have a routine in your life, it'll make your life so much easier, and it will give you an anchor, it'll give you a sense of being with a good routine. And my children can attest that I've put that to effect throughout my lifetime. Everyone needs a routine. And then the school nurse, how fond of her. I admired her so much. She would make rounds each week, check our neck glands, and she would check our ears, and she was constantly alert to see that we didn't have any signs or symptoms of the communicable diseases. It was before immunization, so that mumps, measles, whooping cough, if they got a head start, it would go through the entire school system. So she was forever vigilant. I really thought I wanted to be a nurse, but having met Miss Considine, our school nurse, I was sure that I was going to follow in her footsteps. She encouraged me, shared some of her medical books with me, and told me, go for it, if that's what you want to do. So the decision came, I think, in about 1938, at the end of my junior high year. We had to make a decision what courses we'd be taking in our senior years. And my dream of becoming a nurse faded away because we had already survived 12, 14 years of the Depression, and there just wasn't money available. The Depression made our family stronger, but not richer. So it was difficult to decide whether or not I would give up my dream and take a business course, which seemed practical, or take the college course, which was required to go to School of Nursing. I weighed my choices back and forth, but I just couldn't make a decision. So I decided I should go and talk to the principal. His name was Mr. Froberger, and he listened, and he understood my problem. And he said, let me think for a moment. There has to be a way. You don't want to give up your dream. And then he said, why not take the college course? Because you never know, things could change over the next 4 years. He was so right. When 1939, when I entered high school, Great Britain and France declared war on Germany. And just 11 months later, in December, Japan bombed Pearl Harbor. And our graduation was a very somber affair. The world at war, the uncertainty and the turmoil was unbelievable. But over the summer, I was able to work at a defense plant, which was actually seeking employees, and I was able to meet the tuition costs at the end of 6 months. So on February of 1943, I left Rockland, not knowing that I would never return and live in Rockland again. But my roots are here, and every important event that happened in my life, I came back to get married in Rockland. My children were baptized in Rockland, and I'm so proud to say I graduated from Rockland High School. So I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of the teachers over the 12 years, but especially Miss Murdoch, and especially Miss Considine, the school nurse that gave me the encouragement to attend nursing school. On July the 1st, I joined the Cadet Nurse Corps, and I was soon deployed to Staten Island, New York, to serve my time at the Marine Hospital. At the end of the war, the cadet nurses were no longer required, so I continued in nursing, basically with the public health service for 15 years. Then I married, had my family, who are here with me tonight that I'm so very proud of. My daughter Susan, my son Mark, and their beautiful granddaughters that, as a result of their happy marriage. So I would like to just leave one thought tonight to the young people who are coming along through the school system. Do not give up your dream. Make the right choices throughout your lifetime. And think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'd now like to introduce Mr. Nick LaCorey to induct our next inductee.
Good evening. Stephen R. Magoon graduated from Rockland High School in 1984. At RHS, he distinguished himself academically as a member of the Pentelic chapter of the National Honor Society. He was also a member of the yearbook staff, the Veritas staff, WRPS, the IMC Club, and the Volunteers in Peer Service Club. Stephen's classmates at RHS were a lively bunch, and Stephen may have been the liveliest. One thing's for sure, in all group photos of Stephen, whose nickname was Tree, this might not bode well for me, could usually be found in the back row providing shade for his classmates. After leaving RHS, he went on to Northeastern University, where he studied in the Corey College of Computers and Information Sciences. He graduated in 1989 with a Bachelor of Science degree in computer science, along with a minor in business. It was at Northeastern that he met his wife, Liz. Recently, they just celebrated their 25th anniversary last fall, and have 2 children, Jackie, age 24, and Tyler, age 21. Northeastern's 5-year co-op program allows students to work 2 semesters. This program led Steve down his career path. During Steve's first co-op, he worked at Boston City Hall in several different departments, in particular, the Boston Police Department, where he discovered that there was a problem with their system for tracking employee sick days. These problems obviously were costing the department money. Despite the fact that he was only a student, he was authorized to create a computer automated system that would organize the employee records. Using his background writing code while at Northeastern, he successfully wrote a program for the Boston Police Department. The Boston Herald, reporting on the department's new system, referred to Steve as the whiz kid. For his second co-op, Steve decided that he wanted to work for himself, automating systems in the private sector. This was an untraditional co-op path that Northeastern had disapproved. Nevertheless, Steve was not deterred, and he used this co-op program to start his own business that he called Softcode Inc. After graduating in 1989 from Northeastern, Steve continued as president and CEO at Softcode. For the next 25 years, Steve, along with his wife, built a highly successful business that was acquired by Tyler Technologies in 2014. Tyler Technologies is the largest software company in the country, solely focused on providing integrated software and technology services in the public sector. Steve is now vice president of Tyler Technologies and manages the sales and development aspects of the Softcode business unit. Mr. Stephen R. Magoon, for all of your accomplishments, past, present, and future, we are proud and honored to induct you into the Rockland High School Academic Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen,
well, I think you covered it all. So good, right? And I think Betty remembers more about high school than I remember. I mean, that's That's incredible. Thank you all. It's an honor to be here. It's actually the 35th reunion this year for me in the fall. Will be 35. I can't believe it's been 35 years. Doesn't look anything like it because none of this was here when I was here, but it's pretty incredible. I know for you guys, students that are here, everybody always kind of says you can do anything, right? But nobody ever kind of tells you how you can do anything and how to achieve that goal. So I'll share a few of my ideas about kind of what worked for me, and hopefully that can work for some of you guys as well. I think for me, there's kind of three secrets to it, right? I mean, I was a good student. I wasn't the best student. There were students that were better than me. I know it's a little ironic where it's the Academic Hall of Fame, but I think it can, and a lot of you guys can attest to this too, that to me the first thing is hard work. You got to work hard. No matter what you're going to do, you got to work hard. There's a lot of luck involved with just about everything that you do to be successful too. And then the last piece, which I think is the hardest one to pin down, is I kind of call it positioning, for lack of a better term. It's kind of setting yourself up for success and setting yourself up so that luck can kind of help you be successful. And that, for me, that started even before high school. I don't even know if that's something that's still around, but there was a thing called PCC. Is that even still around now, right? I mean, that was 6th grade. And I went to PCC and took computers and math. Everybody took basket weaving and dance and all these other things for fun, and I took computer science and math. How stupid was that, right? I actually had to work over the summer to do that stuff. But it really, I knew what I wanted to do, so I was focused, and it really kind of just helped me keep that path moving along. And then in high school, we actually had, at the time, a pretty advanced computer system compared to other public high schools. I mean, we had a PDP-11. I mean, that was incredible. No, high schools didn't have those back in the day. So I was pretty lucky. So again, to be able to take advantage of that and take as many computer science classes as I could to try to keep pushing that along as well. And then I had forgotten about some of the stuff you guys said. I remembered the media club, because that was fun to kind of help debug things, and that helped my debugging skills as I went through that stuff. But I had forgotten about WRPS. That was pretty funny. That actually Friday night radio show, pretty funny. And then I think we covered all the other stuff, right? I mean, yeah, I went to Northeastern, did the co-op. It was pretty funny because there was a big story with the work that I did with the police department. It kind of went national, so it was out on the AP wire. So there were families from other Northeastern students all around the country that were sending in these little snippets from their local paper to the school saying, hey, my student goes to Northeastern. Isn't that great that another student saved the city millions of dollars in sick time? So I was kind of, for a little bit, the poster child of Northeastern. So when I went to them my senior year and said, I kind of want to start my own business, they didn't have an entrepreneurial program at the time. Now it's big, and they encourage that for everybody. But at the time, they didn't have that. And they said, no, well, you need co-op credits. We can't let you graduate. If you don't work for a company, we won't give you co-op credits, and you're not going to graduate. I said, well, that's stupid. That doesn't make any sense. I want to do my own business, and I want to take advantage of the stuff at the school while I'm here before I leave. So I said, the heck with it, I'm going to do it. So let's see him try to not give a diploma to the whiz kid who was kind of the poster child of the whole school. We'll see how that goes from a PR perspective for you when it gets to that point. So they did give me that. I looked when I went up on the thing. It's there. Okay, good. I'm good. I can graduate now. So that worked out really, pretty well. And then from that, I was just able to go right from Northeastern, just kind of roll with that, right into the business, started the business, grew the business. My wife joined, lucky enough to be able to bring in an MBA who had really good operations experience, because I was kind of the cowboy coder at the time. So she was able to kind of help me reel things in. And like I said, got acquired a few years ago, still working for the company. It's great. It was kind of a growth thing for us to be able to grow the business even more. So it's doing even more. So I guess in the short of it, find something that you love and be the best at it, and work really, really hard, and the rest will come. So thank you all.
I'd like to introduce Ms. Mal Lanning-Cotton to introduce our next inductee.
Congratulations to all the inductees so far, and it's my honor and pleasure to induct our third inductee tonight, who happens to be a former student of mine. Lisa Connor Desjardins graduated from Rockland High School in 1987. At RHS, Lisa participated in many activities, including cheerleading and softball. In fact, she was an all-star on her softball team. She was also the class treasurer her junior year, member of the ski club, the pep rally, volunteers in services. She was a very, very active student at Rockland High School. Lisa was fortunate to be part of an outstanding art program at Rockland High. As a senior, her art portfolio won an honorable mention from the Scholastic Art Awards. Please excuse I have a little bit of a hoarse voice. Her art portfolio won an honorable mention from the Scholastic Art Awards, and she also received the Chancellor's Award at UMass Amherst for her art portfolio. After graduating from RHS, Lisa received a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Art Education and Graphic Design from the University of Hartford's Hartford Art School. She attained a Master of Science in Art Education from Southern Connecticut State University in 1999. Lisa also played softball at Division I Hartford and for 2 years. These days, for the past 27 years, Lisa teaches all levels of art classes from first-year Foundations of Art to AP Art at Nonawag High School in Woodbury, Connecticut, where she is also an advisor to the National Art Honor Society, a group that she instituted at the school in 2003. She also advises the Art Club and the Drama Club set design. And again, she's been at Nonawag for 27 years. She's been instrumental in a lot of things. Again, very involved, just like she was at Rockland High School. She's been instrumental in developing the curriculum for the school and the AP program. Last year, all 10 of her AP drawing students received a perfect 5. She has been involved in many aspects, also in the planning for a new art wing. She still coaches softball. She also coached varsity cheerleading that won a national title and 3 Connecticut Mass M state titles. In fact, in 2009, she was awarded Connecticut's Cheerleading Coach of the Year. In her 27 years at Nonawag, both Lisa and her students have been recognized many times for their outstanding achievements. Her students are consistently medalists in the Scholastic Art and Writing Awards. Lisa herself has also won many awards, and if I named them all, we'd be here till probably 9:30. But a few of the highlights. In 2010 and 2017, the Lime Academy College of Fine Arts of the University of New Haven awarded her with the Distinguished Service Award in Art Education. In 2014, she was named the Connecticut Art Education Association's Outstanding Participating Scholastic Art Awards teacher, and was also a recipient of a new Connecticut Regional Award, the Blick Art Materials Teacher Award. Most impressively, Lisa was just recently named the Connecticut Art Education Association's 2018 Outstanding Art Teacher for the state of Connecticut, and also the 2018 Outstanding Secondary Art Teacher for Connecticut. Lisa lives in Watertown, Connecticut with her husband, Michael, her children, Emily and Sean, and their chocolate lab, Abby. Her sister, Crystal, said that as a breast cancer survivor, Lisa is not only incredibly passionate about the arts, she's also very passionate about life. She devotes her life to others through her commitment to her family, to her students, and to her community. Lisa Connor Desjardins, for all your accomplishments, past, present, and future, we are proud and honored to induct you into the Rockland High School Academic Hall of Fame. May I present Lisa Connor Desjardins.
Wow. Okay, I'm done. All right, I'm sorry. Hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is Lisa Desjardins, Lisa Connor. When I graduated here in 1987. Wow, that was 32 years ago. Gosh, everything has changed here. The facilities, I mean, the junior high school, well, it was junior high school, and it was way over there, and it wasn't connected. Now it's connected, and we got beautiful facility here, and you guys are so lucky to have that. I mean, back in 1987, we didn't have cell phones. We didn't have flat screen TVs. There was nothing called the internet. There was none of that here. But now, when you think about this, a lot of this has changed over these years. The thing that has not changed here the things that have not changed here at Rockland High School are the teachers. I mean, the teachers have changed. They've come and gone. But their motivation and passion for their students and Rockland schools have not. If it wasn't for the teachers encouraging me to step out of my comfort zone and push me, I wouldn't be the strong, determined woman that I am today. I think it started, well, who went to Eston School? Great school, right? I gotta love Eston School. I wonder if they still have that song, We All Stand for the Eston School. Do they still have that? No? Dang. Okay. Well, okay. That was my first time, I think, that I had a little glimpse of what my future was. I was the first person to design the Eston School logo. So I'm thinking to myself, maybe, you know, something down there told me that I was supposed to be going into the arts. So then junior high came along. Okay, it's middle school, right? Middle school's middle school, it's awkward, you know? However, that's when I started playing softball. There was a program here in the town of Rockland, it was CYO, and Father Bill was in charge of that, and I remember him creating the softball team, and that's how I started my passion for softball. Next came high school. I loved high school. I loved being a Rockland Bulldog. I loved it. I was encouraged to try many different things: art, photography, accounting, softball, honors, American government, Mr. St. Cyr, soccer, cheerleading, class treasurer, and I did it. I did it all. Then I went on to college. Yes, I went on to the Hartford Art School, University of Hartford. I know you're sitting there saying, okay, let's go, lady. We got the Red Sox game going on, so let's get this over and done with. But let me tell you that this school has instilled courage, perseverance, and passion in me. It gave me the courage to go and try out for a Division I softball team at the University of Hartford, and I made it as a walk-on. Rockland gave me the knowledge to graduate with a dual major, graphic design and art education. It gave me the strength to fight the battle of my life, breast cancer at the age of 33. And immediately after that, unexpectedly, my father passed away. Rockland High School has taught me that nothing's going to fall on your lap. You need to go out there and get it yourself, no matter what life throws at you. I know I have a video to show you guys. Is that possible? Hi, my name is Lisa Desjardins. I teach at Nonawag High School. So we were asked to create a video about what art means to me and what art education means to me. Obviously, art means the world to me, as it does to my colleagues. However, I have a little story to tell you about how art came into my life, because honestly, art didn't mean anything to me at the beginning of this journey. It was just a class that I always took. It was because of my high school art teachers, Mrs. Isaac, AKA Miss I, and Miss Rossetti. If it wasn't for them, I would not be here today. I remember in my sophomore year Miss I came in and handed me a $100 check. And back in the 80s, $100 was a lot of money. And said, congratulations. I asked her what this was for, and she informed me that I won the South Shore Art Award. Wow, you can get money for art? Whoever thought? At the end of my sophomore year, I was signing up for my junior classes. I wasn't able to fit art in my schedule. Whenever I told Miss I, she went right down to the guidance office, came back up and said, "You're all set, I fixed it, you're in." If Miss I didn't go down, change my schedule, if she didn't go and push her way through, I probably would have gone into some type of business courses. Junior year comes around and I was taking accounting classes and art classes, loving them both. I remember talking to Miss Rossetti and telling her that I really think I'm going to become a CPA, Certified Public Accountant. She immediately said, "You don't want to do that. You do not want to be like my husband. You would have to wear a suit every day. You would have to sit behind a desk every day. You would have to crunch numbers every day. You're a people person. That's not you." So okay, that's in the back of my mind the entire time. A lot. So every day I would see my art teachers bebopping around, always on the go, having fun doing what they loved and enjoying everything that they were doing. They had such camaraderie. They were having so much fun. They weren't working. They weren't working at a job. A job to me is vacuuming and matching socks. That's a job. And my husband knows how much I love to vacuum. Not at all. They were sharing their passion and loving every minute of it. They were touching everyone's lives and getting their same respect and results back. What I saw and experienced was what I wanted. As you can see in my yearbook, teaching art has always been my ambition. As an art teacher, I share my love and passion with all my students. I truly feel that art education is a vital part of every child's development and serves a vital purpose for developing relationships, giving opportunities, and discovering oneself. I would like to thank the CAEA committee for this unbelievable award, to my good friend Andrea Haas for nominating me for this incredible honor, and to my awesome colleagues at Nanawag. I want to say a special thank you to my family, especially my husband, for always supporting me and leaving me a plate of food during the late nights and understanding all the craziness. Thank you again. So that's the video we had to submit last year for the Connecticut Art Education Association. I want to thank the Hall of Fame committee for giving me this honor. A big thank you, obviously, to my wonderful and supportive husband and my beautiful and talented children, Emily and Sean. A shout out to my family, my mom, my brother, my in-laws, my cousin, my niece, Savannah, and especially my sister, Crystal, for nominating me for this incredible award. Thank you. A huge thank you to Mrs. Isaac, God rest her soul, and Mrs. Rossetti for being my inspiration to follow my dreams and pursue my passion. And one last word of advice. If you choose a job you love, you will never have to work a day in your life. Finally, a special thank you to my students, past and present, for making me the teacher I am today. Remember, once a bulldog, always a bulldog. Go Dogs.